Hello everyone, welcome to all of you in my English channel, Elite English Club, and today I brought for class 12 the an elementary school classroom in a slum, which is a poem and it is a very inspiring poem. So let's start. Stephen Spender wrote this poem and he was born on 1909 and died on 1995. He was a poet and English essayist. Spender had keen interest in politics and so he declared himself as socialist and pacifist. His work concentrated on themes of social injustice and the class struggle. Now we will see the introduction. The poem written by Stephen Spender describes the social inequalities which are prevailing in the society. In the poem, he describes the condition of the students of an elementary school which is situated in a slum area. The poet wants to draw attention of everyone towards these kids so that their life can be improved and they may get trained to become good citizens rather than criminals. Now we will see summary. This poem gives a vivid description of a school classroom in a slum and the children in the class. The faces of the children are dull. Their appearance shows that they are unwanted. The children have gloomy faces, their heads hanging low in sadness due to being poor. They have diseased bodies inherited from their parents and are victim of poverty. At the dim end of the room sits one child who has bright eyes which seem to dream of playing outside with the squirrels. He is different from the others in the dim, dark room. The walls of the classroom are dirty. People have donated their different charts and images which have been put up on them. One of them is a picture of the great playwright Shakespeare. His head is bald and resembles the rising sun. The next poster is of the Tralles Valley, full of churches and flowers, which symbolizes the beautiful creation of nature. Another one is a map of the world. To these children, the world is not the one shown in this picture, that is different, but it is the one they see out of the classroom window. They are trapped in the slums. Their future is dim and hopeless. They have a dark future as their options in life are limited and are covered with dismay. They are far away from the bright light of knowledge. Comprehending these pictures is beyond their abilities. They hate everyone, and for them, Shakespeare is a wicked man, as no one loves them. They even they dislike everyone. The desire for love and acceptance forces them to do crimes like stealing. The children are so skinny that their clothes are like a skin and their skeleton is visible through them. This is due to lack of nutrition. They have worn looking glasses made of steel which are cheap, heavy, and uncomfortable. Their chances of fulfilling their dreams and moving out have been further reduced by building bigger slums. Until they come out of the slums, they will never know what the world looks like. The government system which makes these slums is the cause for these people to live in them. The education system is such that it forces them to live in these slums. They are not given the right to dream beyond these slums. They have been restricted to the slums. The poet requests the authorities to allow these children to go out of these slums so that the maps on the walls of the classroom become a reality for them. They should be taken to the green field rather than the dim slums. The sunny warm sand of the beaches and the bright blue sky will instill a hunger for knowledge in their minds. Then they will absorb all of it. Then these children will become economically empowered. The poem ends with a powerful line: those who make history are the ones who shines like the sun. So poet used here that if government hugged them, then it would be a history for the slums. So I hope you like the poem. Now we will see line by line explanation. Here the poet is saying in the first stanza, far, far from gusty waves, these children faces like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor, the tall girl with her vague down head, the paper seeming boy with rat's eyes. Here poet is saying the children are beyond from the gusty waves. They are in the foggy area in which they cannot see the waves, the breeze. They cannot feel. Neither the breeze can touch their faces. They like rootless weeds. They are unwanted. They are rootless. They are powerless. The hair torn brown their pallor. Their hairs are uncombed, with full of dirt. They have dull and pale face. The tall girl with her waked down head. There was a girl who is tall and waked with the heavy sadness and which bent her shoulder. The paper seeming boy. There was a boy who is seeing the paper, who has rat's eyes. The stunted, unlucky heir. The poet called them the malnutrited because of starvation their body could not grow up properly. They have the diseased body. They have diseased bone. Their bones are twisted. They nerve disease adopted from their parents. And as we are discussing the chapter on desk for the academic, they are reciting this chapter, their life's lesson on their desk. They are thinking over it. They are watching their hands and thinking the disease which they have adopted from their parents. At back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream. There was a child who was so young and sweet, who was dreaming to play with a squirrel in tree room other than this, and the other one were just thinking over their future and past, which is just surrounded in the slum. So, in stanza 2, poet says, on sour cream was donations, Shakespeare had cloudless at dawn, civilized doom right all cities. Poet is saying that the classroom condition is telling that how it is unpleasant and how it is unpainted, and also the color has faded off the wall and it is now the off white. And he is telling that who donated some items for studying, that is Shakespeare had is one of them, and which is looking like a sun in the cloudless, and they are assuming that picture because of his baldness. And there was a one picture of civilized dooms with big cities, and there are so many houses there, beautiful houses were there. There was a picture full of churches, flowers, and trellis valleys with the nature. And one more thing was there, that is open-handed map awarding the world its word. And there was a world map in which there was a general map, not a particular place where they are written, but it was a map. There were so many things. And yet for these children, but for the children who are in the slums, these windows not this map their world. For them, the windows out of the classroom were their world, not this map, because they were not existed in the map. They could not see themselves in the map. That is why their world was these windows, out of these windows, that slum, where all their futures painted with the fog, where their future was painted, their future was dim, and there was illusion altogether. A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far from rivers, capes, and stars upwards. Poet is saying that the sky is there in the narrow street, but that is pessimistic sky, that is full of black clouds, which is far from the river, far from the caves, and far from the stars of words, where there is no hope, there are no rays of hope to see the clear sun, to see the bright sky. In third stanza, poet says, surely Shakespeare is a wicked, the map a bad example, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. Poet is saying, sir, that all these things are bad example for them because they dislike the Shakespeare, as they think that nobody likes them, and whatever he picturized, the Shakespeare picturized, it is not for them, it is for the elite section. That is why they do not like them. They dislike the people who do not love them. The map is a bad example because it is not the picturization of the slum, and also there is sun, but not for them. And the love and the desire of getting things make them tempted to steal the things and to do crime. For lives that slyly turn in their crammed holes from fog to endless night, poet is asking the question that strictly their mind turned with their crammed holes. Would they able to come out from that fog to endless night? That night camp ended or not? On their slag heap, from that garbage, heap of garbage, the children can come out, or their skin, which is so thin, and their skeleton is peeping from their skin. They are using mended glass spectacles with heavy steel frame, and which the using glass which is used for the bottle. So all of their time and space are foggy slums. So to see the scenario, poet is saying that this time and space is nothing for them except the foggy slum. So blot their maps. If you want to see the happiness in the faces of these children, then you just blot on the maps with slums as big as dooms. You just put some sketches on the map of slums so that they can see their future bright. In last stanza, poet says, unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map become their window, and these windows are shut upon their lives like catacombs. And he's saying that if governor, inspector, and visitors observe these things, and if they blot some space for the slums, then only they can see through the map their world. Otherwise, their world is their windows. And the slums has shut their lives like a catacombs, like a tomb which is cemented, and from there they cannot see except the fog. So, poet is requesting here to the authority, to the government, break, oh break, open till they break the town. Asking and requesting, you just break that wall which is restricted for them, and you break till the slums children can reach the town area, and show the children to green field, and you just give them a new world where they can see the scenery, where they can enjoy the greenery, they can run on the land of gold, they can enjoy and they can see the blue sky, the optimistic sky, not the pessimistic sky, and with run naked into books, and they can enjoy the books and green leaves. So poet is saying history can be made, and the history which is made by the people who is the sun, and whose language is also the sun, because sun gives lights without any demand, and sun always do welfare. So government, you do welfare for the society, for the slums, so that it can be inscribed in the history, and you can make history for the slums. So I hope you like the poem, and it is very motivational poem. Poet is giving the message to the government to do the work for these slums, so that they can come over from their pessimistic moods, they can come over from their poverty. Here poet is using literary devices, simile in like rootless weeds, metaphor in paper seeming boy, and the repetition of use of far to stress on the distance. So I hope you like the poem, and please do not forget to comment in comment box. Feedback is very necessary. So keep watching, keep learning. Till then, take care.